The main event of this program, very, very good. As for the rest of the show, let's talk about it. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE NXT Gold Rush 2023 Week 1. Yeah, there's gold in them there, Orlando. Swamps? Parks? Rivers? Crocodile-infested waters? I don't really know. They're not in the Old West. Yeah, I'm not really sure what gold they were rushing for. I mean, maybe they were by the main event. And next week's show is packed with championship matches. You know, honestly, NXT Weekly, there's some good stuff on it. And there are some things that are meant to be entertaining, but just don't really click with me. Booker T's commentary is just soul-crushingly awful. Somebody needs to sit down with him and say, either sound like you're an actual human being, not a caricature, or just go do something else. I mean, please. It's really bad. It's not even comical. It's just bad. Anyway, Rollins and Steiner arrive earlier in the day, and already in the ring, we have Tyler Bate, Mustafa Ali as a special guest referee, and Bate is facing Wes Lee. It's for a North American Championship, and this basically was just an angle of Ali wanting to insert himself viciously and make sure that everybody knows that he is gunning for the North American Championship. First he did fast counts, and he did slow counts, and then eventually he got in the way of Tyler Bate being able to see Wesley's finish, and Wesley his finish 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there were other moves. It didn't really matter. The special guest referee aspect, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I get where they were going with it. Unless Ali actually ends Wesley's, North American Championship run, I don't really know if you should have sacrificed a match like this just to get to that point. But nevertheless, it was fine. It was fine, I guess, but nothing really to write home about. So anyway, then Gigi, she's admiring all this wall art and says that she's tired of being rejected. She's going to forge her own path. And then we cut to Mackenzie with Kiana James, a feud with Gigi. I mean, okay, there are definitely, lamer things they could do. Maybe they'll create something. Kiana has really tried her best. She has absolutely, just dove into this role of being this bitch. And she looks good. She's, getting better in the ring. And her working with Gigi, it can be a fine undercard feud. Then we get Raw recaps of Finn's attacks on Seth. And then we go to a Chase University rally for Thea Hale. I don't care. I nearly shut the show off and said, that's it. I don't want to fucking watch this show anymore. Anytime the Chase University stuff is on this program, it embarrasses me that I was ever a wrestling fan. It's just, they're acting like children. They're acting like fucking children. It's ridiculous. Thea's all fired up and everything. Tiffany shows up and does her usual, it's like, whatever. And does her usual stuff. And then we get a Kimura lock because Thea's really been training them. Maybe if they treated Thea Hale seriously and not like a goddamn goof, I'd probably be more invested in this. Tiffany and Thea will probably deliver a good match, but the Chase University stuff is shit. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Then, speaking of shit, the schism as a concept is not good. The individuals, nothing wrong with them. Joe Wayne Gacy blames himself. Ava Braun, I don't really think this is going to work out for her. I don't... None of this is good. This whole thing has, this division among them has just been going on forever. And it's not good. It's not good. The Creeds and Ivy are talking about they want to get revenge on the schism because Ava Braun used a loaded mask on Ivy. And then NXT Anonymous, except we know who NXT Anonymous is. We know who NXT Anonymous is. Is it not Blair Davenport? I thought it was Blair Davenport. Or was she just the stalker and the attacker? And, well, what is happening? Why is this happening? And JC and Rise of Lyra were trying to, create something that would build to a feud, and this actually ought to be pretty good. Lyra has unique offense, JC has a great look, and it's improving, but this NXT Anonymous, is just, I don't know what the hell. Tank and Hank against Blade and Inoue against Briggs and Jensen. Three-way contenders match, Fallon, Henley in those shorts, my goodness. I like Blade and Inoue. I think they're a great team. I actually don't mind any of these teams like, as far as, like, you know, as far as work, Tank and Hank are likable enough. Briggs and Jensen are hard-hitting. Blade and Nofe have plenty of personality and are pretty good in the ring. But it's another multi-person match that is just the same as it ever was, after a bunch of moves. Eventually, Blade hits a splash, 1, 2, 3. And then we cut to Gallus, Garza, and Carrillo talking. Every time I see Humberto Carrillo, I think of the kid from Paranormal Activity, the Marked Ones. Tell me he doesn't look like him. Tell me. Tell me he doesn't. Anyway, Eddie Thorpe has had a DJ table because he's a DJ for some reason. Damon Kemp says, hey, you said I could pick a match. I'm bringing Raw Underground back in 2 weeks. Okay, why? It wasn't good to begin with, but let's do it again. Only this time with, you know, lesser known people. Roxanne walks by during this and attacks Blair Davenport. And Blair, you know, just having a surly look on her face, or that's how she always looks. Rollins is talking it up with Mega Man Frazier, or Nathan Frazier. I'm dropping the nickname because Frazier has proven himself to be a complete crackpot. But since Seth trained him, it makes sense why they would interact. Seth interacts with Trick and Mello soon after that. So I'm laughing a future match. I wouldn't mind seeing that match on a WrestleMania stage. I'm not saying next year, but by WrestleMania 41, why the hell not? I think that would be quite good. You could do it for WrestleMania 40, I just don't think they're going to. And then Cora Jade took on Dana Brooke. It was like Dana had just killed animals in front of these people because she was getting booed like crazy. Now, I did find one funny line here from, I believe, Vic. Why wouldn't Cora seek advice from someone like Dana? Maybe because Cora at this point is better than Dana, you know, ever was in the ring. Dana works hard. I'm not knocking her. She does work hard. She's trying hard. She's a very good athlete. At some point, they got to sit down and say, you got to find something else to do. She got tangled up in the ropes and apparently hurt her knee. I don't know if it was kayfabe. I don't know if it was legit. And she just powered through it. They did a stretcher job during the break, but she decided to come back. So evidently it isn't legit. It's just storyline. And she kept firing back, and everybody just booed the hell out of her. And then a single, like Boston Crab, won it because referee stoppage. The referee didn't want to see her suffer. I hope that Dana's all right and it's not actually a knee injury. And it's not actually something legit. If it is, I hope she recovers. If it's kayfabe, this really isn't going to get any sympathy on Dana. Again, I don't know why they thought this was a good angle to use on Dana Brooke. So, we get a package on Robert Stone and Von Wagner. Von Wagner apparently had have skull surgery and had to, because his brain was being impacted and wasn't allowed to fully grow. And at 15 months old, he had to spend a week in the hospital, getting his skull fixed, stretched out, and all that and everything. And now I feel bad. Now I feel bad for the nicknames that I came up with. I still don't find Von Wagner terribly interesting. I don't think he's that good in the ring. But I feel bad. I'm sorry. I did not know it was actually legit medical stuff. I feel bad. It was good emotional stuff. Again, I'm still not a fan of him. I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad he survived that stuff. So then, in the NXT locker room, Gable Steveson is here. Why? Why? Hide the women. Lock the women's locker room up because Gable won't take no for an answer. Steveson is around. And yeah, it's like, oh, Gable and Damon know each other well. Google it, kids. You'll figure out why. And then we get to Corbin and Mello with a face-to-face. So hype up next week. It's hard to take Corbin seriously in these shirts. I mean, I'm sorry. It just is. I have nothing against Corbin as a worker. He's safe. He's crisp. He obviously works well with people in the ring, and they feel safe with him, and that's great. I don't think that Corbin's a terrible asset to the roster. I just don't think that this is a great... It's a bridge gap for Mello to get to Great American Bash to face somebody else, but... They did back and forth jabs. Corbin doesn't care what anybody thinks, and that's fair. He's made a lot of money. Mello can only dream of earning the money he's earned. Corbin can only dream of having the great matches that Mello has and actually, you know, being revered as far as that. And, I mean, back and forth, all that stuff. And Corbin basically says, you know, you're not going to be able to beat me. He tried to do the whole thing where I'm going to drink from a bottle that's more than you can afford after I beat you. And okay, wasn't bad. Ulyssa, Leon, and Valentina Feroz are talking. Dragon Lee shows up. Dragon Lee, just, I hope his money's good because, good God, they have done absolutely jack shit with him. Frazier shows up with the Heritage Cup. Gallus, one of Gallus, might have been Joe Coffey, might have been Mark Coffey, could have been Mr. Coffey, could have been Mr. Folgers for all I care. Got kidnapped by Stacks, and stuffed in the trunk. That is a crime. That is a crime. But nevertheless. And if I cared one bit about Gallus or really anything in this feud, then I might say, oh, this is great. Except we see this shit a lot. Valentina and Ulyssa took on Lash Legend and Jamara Jackson, and oh, good God, why was this on a cable broadcast? Why? You can put people in there with good looks and possible presence, and maybe they can get better. This is not a way to do it. This was not good. This was a mess. Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice show up and are seen for like 3 seconds in a background shot. Ulyssa came back from a knee injury. Apparently, she was favoring it. I was hoping she was all right, and she was just favoring it. They dove on Oro in the blind force, and then Lash hit a pump kick 1, 2, 3. And that was pretty much it right there. That match was atrocious. I'm sorry. That just was. You need to give people more seasoning. There's nothing wrong with giving people short matches, but this was way too busy, and this involved way too many moving parts for people with this level of experience. It was just obvious. So 3 title matches next week, and also the Heritage Cup. Why is the Heritage Cup a thing? Genuine question. Is it really necessary? No, it's not. So Steiner makes his entrance with 35 minutes left. Rollins gets a big pop. Rollins versus Steiner. All I'm going to say is Rollins made Steiner look like $1 million, selling the ribs, you know, getting beat up, firing back. Steiner had to post himself and basically take himself out of it for Rollins to gain the advantage. They did a frog splash to the announcer's table for a break with about 10 minutes left in the program, by the way, maybe less. And I don't know why they did that. We got some big moves, some good reversals, a Frankensteiner spot. We got the snap, the press into the snap slam, 1, 2, kick out, and then Rollins manages to hit a kick, manages to hit a stomp, a second stomp, 1, 2, 3. It was a good match. I don't really want to go move for move on it, but it wasn't bad at all. Pretty damn good considering the dreck I had to sit through to get to it. And then Balor attacks at the close, hits some chair shots, and then Trick and Mello stop him from hitting the stomp. Don't hurt our heavenly visionary father. Yeah, NXT Gold Rush next week. Look, it is really getting to the point where Booker T's commentary may take me out of this goddamn... Well, and Chase you and a few things. I can put up with a lot of bullshit, but NXT has just fallen into a fucking pit. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, though. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.